Hi guys, I just got done doing Cancer's reading and I got like a message to do a pick a card out of nowhere, and it's going to be about which part of the collective healing process you're a part of. And we're going to do this by your intuition. So the first I've drawn, let me show you. I've drawn three feathers and a couple cards that came out for each feather. And the first, and I have not read any of these. The first feather is this feather. This is which part of the collective are you trying to heal? Which part of the universe is your energy a part of the healing process? So this is the feather one. And this is feather two. And this is feather three. So I'm going to give you a minute to pick your feather. We got 1, 2, 3. Okay, guys, so we are going to do a collective. Which part of the collective are you a process in trying to heal? So for feather, and on the bottom of the native spirit, we got offerings, which is befitting for this reading because that is our offering to spirit, to the universe, to God, to the collective. Is we have our wounds and we have our failures and we have our setbacks so that we can offer something to others, so we can help others. And then on the bottom of the tarot was the Father of Fire, who I see as a very spiritual leader, which goes really nicely with this reading. And then on the bottom of the feather deck, we had the Wren. Be bold and confident. Use all of your resources to create your dreams. All of your resources includes the things that you look at as setbacks or failures or anything like that. So for people that chose feather one, okay, it's the eagle feather. And it says you are learning all aspects of spiritual connection and reaching new heights. So the mission here on this pile is to get more in touch with the spiritual side of humans, and help evolve us into a more spiritual place. Okay. The cards for that were, of course, Judgment. So this could be very well like, oh, and that's interesting. There's an eagle above her head also. This is seeing things from a higher perspective. Part of your healing contribution, your healing offering to the world is to see things from a higher perspective, to bring people to new heights, a spiritual uplifting of people. And then we got Six of Air, clarity. This is moving from a more, it's kind of like, I look at it like learning what to leave behind so that you can evolve, so you can have a better future or a better, you go through rough waters with this kind of energy, but it's so that you understand that the things that you are mentally holding on to hold you back. This brings you to a place of peace. This is releasing unpeaceful places, people, things, judgments, or just really earthy things that hold you back from your spirituality. And it goes through this, like this dream catcher. It's only letting the things through that you deem to be helpful to your process. And in this case, the process of the collective, the awakening, the rising, the evolving. And then we got the Eight of Earth, inner order. And it was reversed. So this is not focusing so much on the earth stuff, on the earth work. This is focusing on spiritual work. Your guys' pile is about the spiritual work and gaining insight and guidance from spirit, from God, from the universe, seeing things from a much higher perspective and understanding that there is a order to things that is not earthy. It is spiritual, energetic. And then we got the flowing river for your card. And the flowing river is about going with the flow, not trying to create that order, really letting all those messages come in and just really taking it all in. I am going to read the flowing river. Here we go. Your native spirit wants you to know rivers have personalities and carry energy, just as animals and plants do. And this is what this reading is really about, you guys. Each person has an energy to contribute to the collective, an offering of their own energy, their own spirit, to contribute to the fire, the spiritual aspect of us in our human place in this world. From the Maoris to the Australian Aborigines and to other native cultures throughout the world, it's believed that it's important to listen to the language of the river. If you aren't feeling the smooth currents of life, that's that 6 of air too. It says it might mean that you're trying to control situations. This is about releasing control, releasing order. One part of your mission here is to release that and go with the flow. Flow on the wings like how eagles fly and just glide through the air. Let those thoughts, let those emotions run through you to see things from a higher perspective and to receive the information that you get from the feeling of releasing control, which is a good thing in this case. It's really nice. It's best to ride the horse the direction that it's going. This means that when the card-flowing river chooses you, you are being told to let go and go with the flow. If there is something or someone you need to forgive, this is your time. This is also the time to forgive yourself and just let go. I love that. It goes perfect with the eagle, seeing things from a higher perspective instead of holding on to petty earth things, petty arguments, petty control things. It's really about releasing that control and letting all of your energy flow in the direction that it's meant to flow. Okay, so that was pile 1. And these are going to be quick, you guys, but I wanted to do this because I just got inspired to do this after the Cancer reading. So now the next feather is the grouse. Okay? And it's embrace the power of dance and movement to access your highest guidance. I'm feeling right away with this. Part of this pile's mission or contribution or offering to the collective is to bring awareness to how our bodies hold energy and how when we move our bodies in a direction that we feels right, whether that's, exercise, running, I hula hoop, finding your knack, finding your physical knack to deal with the spiritual nature of our human selves. Embracing the power of dance and movement to access your highest guidance. So this pile is coming in as a lot of your guidance and a lot of your insights and a lot of your stuff would come through physical movement. You could just be mindlessly doing something that feels good for your body and you have lots of spiritual insight, guidance coming in. So let's see what cards you guys got. The 6 of Fire, Victory. Okay, so it is reversed. And then we got the 8 of Water, Stagnation. Yes. And so part of your lesson or your guidance or your offering, your wounded healer energy is maybe you haven't moved a lot and it's time to do that. It's time to be successful at finding that movement, whether this is moving away from things that are comfortable, getting out of your comfort zone. That's what I'm feeling for this pile. To be happy. And maybe you think, well, that can't make me happy. I don't like to move. I don't like to, but that is your challenge, your healer energy, your wounded healer, your kind of Shirani energy, so to say, in order to feel victorious and get recognition and actually see the accomplishment that comes from physically moving away from stagnation, emotional stagnation, mental stagnation. Physical movement will help with this this part of the reading, this your guys' feather and card. This is part of your offering. Maybe you're meant to show people that transformation in the physical leads to transformation spiritually too, and mentally and emotionally, to connecting those things, connecting the physical with the spiritual. And then we got the peace pipe. So immediately I got like, okay, so when I think of peace pipes, I think of smoking stuff and, maybe unhealthy habits to cope, to bring peace to yourself. So part of this is telling me this is about finding healthy movement in your life to cope with emotions and to find true happiness, not false happiness. But I am going to read the peace pipe here. This is really, really nice, you guys. Peace pipe. Here we go. Your native spirit wants you to know, in native tradition, sharing a peace pipe filled with sacred tobacco and herbs was a way of finding common ground and dropping discord. It was a respite in order to calmly assess a situation and find a peaceful resolve. There are times to drop everything and leave. That is this 8 of water to the stagnation. It's leaving things, not bringing peace to a situation, not putting any active energy into something. But this is about putting active energy into something. Actual physical, I'm feeling that actual physical movement into something. Become physical with what it is you want to create. Whether that's peace or healing. There are times to carefully mend bridges with people, situations, and places. This is one of those healing times. Maybe there is a wound inside you that needs to be forgiven or accepted. Maybe you need to forgive yourself or forgive another. Transform the inner grievance. And I feel like through physical work, you're going to do this through maybe exercise, maybe being around people and helping them realize that moving away from like old emotions or old the forgiveness is popping out at me, like forgiving yourself, forgiving others can actually help you physically move forward away from stagnation. And this is part of your mission or your contribution. And maybe you've had some really hard lessons in this area. The things you lean into or crutch on when you're wanting peace in your life or you want to bring peace to others. So releasing those. Do it now. You need to forgive the act. But there's no power in there. Excuse me. But there's power. Excuse me. Do it now. You don't need to forgive the act. But there's power in forgiving the person. You no longer need to carry it with you. And if you are doing anything unhealthy or just sitting with it, it's very unhealthy. You have to embrace that power that comes with actually not sitting with it, just walking away from it, seriously dropping it, leaving it, and being successful at that, to find that healthy avenue out of that feeling of, it is almost like being comfortable with not being open or okay with others and maybe their failures too. I am feeling that judgmental kind of attitude here, but bringing peace to it by absolute forgiveness. You no longer need to carry it with you. Perhaps there's a person from your past with whom you should reconnect. You know what you need to do. This is the time to do it. So this could actually mean movement forward, physical action towards somebody, or teaching people that, facing the things that you're sitting with. It's suffering on you. It's not hurting them. It's hurting you because you're the one sitting there eating or smoking or drinking because of maybe acts that were out of your control. But to forgive those people and forgive yourself for falling into this cycle of stagnation and not moving and not physically caring about yourself. I feel like this is about physical care about yourself and others and bringing those two together and seeing the connection with those two. So with that being said, we're going to go to pile 3 now, guys, which was the pheasant. The time is right for creation and connection. Focus your attention in these areas. Creation and connection. So connecting on a spiritual level to the things you're creating. Understanding that everything you're creating is coming from a connection from somewhere within or outside of yourself. That's what I'm feeling from that feather. The time is ripe for creation and connection. So creating, and through creating something for yourself, for those around you, this is actually a physical energy too. It's actually creating a connection to the divine, to the universe, to the collective. So part of this healing or this offering is to let it be known to people that through creation, through creating something, through actually physically doing something here, you are bringing a connection to that. Everything you touch, everything you do has a connection in it. And where's that coming from? The intention behind the creation. That's what I'm feeling from this reading. We got the 4 of air, contemplation. Part of this is not resting. This is not contemplating what you're doing. This is doing it from a place that is natural. You're not thinking about it. You're not, it's just very natural to take this connection with this feeling or this thing and do something with it. And I'm also The Ace of Water is next, and it's also, so this isn't an emotional energy. This is because it is reversed. It's not about creating emotional stuff. It's actually about creating a connection to you and what you're doing. And that, to teach that to others, to help offer that to the world, like that you can do things without, it's not kind of without an emotional attachment is what I want to say, but that there's like not a doubt in your mind or rest from putting yourself into what you're doing. And then we got the Vision Quest. And this is also about seeing things differently, bringing a new perspective to people, getting people to see things differently when it comes to connecting their spirit to the physical world, to the physical things we do. It feels like very earth energy. And then we got the Medicine Woman, Medicine Man. And I'm going to read that. It feels like a very physical connection to understanding that what you're doing or seeing things differently in a way that what you're doing is your connection to, there's absolutely no, it doesn't feel emotional. It feels like perspective. It feels like, hey, when you do this, you connect to your spirit through this. And this is creation, like creating things, making things happen, stuff like that. This is befitting here. And then we got the Medicine Woman, Medicine Man, and I'm going to read that. Here we go. Your native spirit wants you to know every indigenous culture has a tradition of healers. Depending on the culture, they're called medicine men or medicine women, shamans, tahungans, kahunas, sangamas, and curanderos. I'm not saying any of those words right, you guys, but among others. In every tradition, they are the individuals who are able to step between worlds to gain information, wisdom, and healing energies from their spirit allies. When this card chooses you, you are at the advent of healing emotional, physical, and mental wounds. Additionally, a powerful healing force is activating within you. This is about activating that spiritual force in your mind, not contemplating, not questioning your own emotions about something or your own intention behind doing what you're doing, and focusing your attention on the creation, on what you're creating, the actual physical manifestation of it, and which creates a healing, which creates things people can see that may come from a place that is wounded, or a place that is not even emotional. It's like a lot of mental, like changing of the mind, connecting your mind to your emotions, to your physicality. It's very interesting. So that is the readings, you guys, for the offerings that we have to give to the collective in our energy. So depending on which pile you picked, you got your reading. I just had to do that. It was just kind of called to me to do this. So it was real quick, but I liked it. It was fun. So as always, thank you for coming to my channel, your likes, your subscribes. Thanks for hanging in there while I'm switching rooms. I can't wait. It's going to be great. And as always, have a great day, and I will talk to you later.